We're going to be going over our test review. So let's go ahead and work all these, okay? Number one, we have 2.32 plus 6.412. I can simply stack these and remember to line up my decimals. All right, and then I'll annex a 0 here. 0 plus 2 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 plus 4 is 7. And 2 plus 6 is 8. So my answer has to be 8.732. All right, over here we're subtracting. Once again, we line up our decimals. 0.7. Some people might want to put that 0 there. It really doesn't matter. Remember our rule, you take the big number minus the small number, and then you keep the sign of the big number, so we know we're going to have a positive answer. I have to go ahead and borrow, so this is going to be a 4. This would be a 16. 16 minus 7 is 9, and the 4 comes down, so my answer would be 4.9. Number 3, we're multiplying here, so I'm going to just take this 4, put it over here, and multiply it. I could have done it the other way, but then I would have had 3 rows to go ahead and add together. This would make it much easier. I see 2 times 4 is 8. I know 0 times 4 is 0. I know 3 times 4 is 12. And now I have to remember that I have 2 spaces, right? The decimal occupies 2 spaces, so I have to bring my decimal over 2 spaces, and my answer has to be 12.08. All right, let's go to number 4. This time we're dividing. This isn't that hard at all, right? This is simply taking 15.5 and dividing it by 5. I know 5 goes into 15 3 times. That's going to leave me 0.5. And I know 5 goes into 5 1 time. Remember to bring up our decimal in the exact location it's at. That's going to make our answer 3.1. Number 5 is we're multiplying fractions here. Multiplying fractions means we multiply the top number to the top number, the bottom number to the bottom number. 2 times 9 equals 18, and 5 times 10 equals 50. And we can divide both of these by 2, and that would give me 9 over 25. For those of you thinking, Mr. Mendez, why don't you use the butterfly method? Sure, I could remember that 2 and 10 are both divisible by 2. And I could have rewrote this to be 1 over 5. Right? 2 divided by 2 is 1. And I'd be multiplying it to 9 over 5, because 10 divided by 2 is 5. And then when I multiply the top number to the top number, I get 9. And the bottom number to the bottom number, I get 25. So you can see I get the same answer. Number 6, we're dividing fractions, which means we've got to remember to keep, change, flip. I like teaching KFC, but it's the same steps. We've got to keep the first one the same. That's going to be 6 over 7. We're changing from division to multiplication, and now we flip the second one to be 3 over 1. I know 6 times 3 is 18, and I know 1 times 7 is 7. I remember every fraction is a division problem. When I have an improper fraction, I take my top number and I divide it by my bottom number. I know 7 goes into 18. Excuse me. 7 goes into 18 2 times, leaving me with 4 left over. And there be my answer. It's got to be 2 and 4 over 7. All right, here is number 7. We got 3 divided by 2/5. I remember I can turn 3 into a fraction by putting a 1 underneath it. And now I use keep, change, flip again. This is going to be 3 over 1. We keep the first one the same. We change the multiplication, and we flip the second fraction. So it'd be 5 over 2. Now I realize I got 3 times 5, and that's 15. And I got 2 times 1, and that's 2. And remember, every fraction is a division problem. This is 15 divided by 2. I know 2 goes into 15 7 times with a remainder of 1, so this is going to be 7 and 1 half. All right, now we got 1/3 divided by 6. So we do keep change flip again, but this time we'll be keeping that 1/3 here, and we're changing the second number instead of the first one into a fraction, right? We are changing division and multiplication, and then we're flipping that second one to be 1/6. And that makes it really easy because 1 times 1 is 1, and 3 times 6 is 18, and there's no way to simplify that. That's our answer. Number 9 has 5 1/3 divided by 2 and 4/5. And that means I have mixed numbers I use around the world when I do this. 3 times 5 is 15, and 15 plus 1 is 16. So this is really 16/3. And then 5 times 2 is 10, and 10 plus 4 is 14. And now we're going to use keep change flip. We're going to keep that first fraction the same, 16/3. We're going to change from division to multiplication, and we're going to flip that next one to be 5/14. I remember that 16 and 14 are both divisible by 2. 16 divided by 2 is 8, and 14 divided by 2 is 7. Now I'm ready to go to multiply. 8 times 5 is 40, and 3 times 7 is 21. I know 21 only goes into 40 one time, and I need to go ahead and divide it because I have an improper fraction here. So I remember every fraction is really a division problem in disguise. So I know that 21 going into 40 is going to leave me 19 left over. So that means this answer should be 1 and 19/21. All right, we're at number 10, the last one. It says at the end of the party, 5/6 cup of the smoked fish dip is left. Jim divides 3/4 of the leftover smoked fish dip equally between 2 friends. How much dip does each friend get? Now, I want you to look very closely at this question because it says Jim divides 3/4 of the leftovers equally between 2. So don't get confused and think we're dividing the 5/6 by 3/4. We're dividing the 3/4 by 2. How do I get 3/4 of 5/6? That's multiplication. I take my fraction and divide or multiply it to the fraction. It's there, and it tells me how much is left. I've got 15/24. Both of these are divisible by 3, right? I can divide 15 and 24 by 3, and that's going to give me 5/8. Yes, we could have used the butterfly method here and turn the 6 and the 3 into 2 and 1, right? Because they're both divisible by 3. This could have been 5/2 times 1/4. And then you see we still get the same answer, right? 5 times 1 is 5, 2 times 4 is 8. Now we know that there's 5/8 left over, okay? 5/8 left over is, is 3/4 of 5/6, okay? And now we're going to go ahead and divide that by 2, right? We're dividing it by 2 people. Each of them get a half. Well, that's the same as 2/1. So now we use keep change flip, and we get 5/8. Sorry, my mouse is giving me just a little bit of issue here. 5/8. Remember, keep change flip. We keep the first fraction the same. We change the multiplication, and we flip the second fraction. So this is the same as multiplying by 1/2. Now I got 5 times 1, that's 5. And I got 8 times 2, that's 16. That tells me that everybody, both these 2 friends, okay, are going to get 5/16 of a cup. Okay, 5/16 cup should be the answer. All right, well, I hope that helped clarify how to go ahead and do all the problems that are going to be on the test. If you are able to go ahead and do these problems, you're ready. If you don't, practice them tonight and be ready, because if you can do these problems, you are definitely going to do well on the test. All right, see you in class.